Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Joshua McDonald. I'm a CDL advisor for TransTech Truck Driving School here in Raleigh, North Carolina. If you guys are interested in getting your CDL and you're local to the area, check me out in the description down below. But today we're going to be talking about the best local CDL jobs for brand new drivers. So if you're a new CDL driver or you're about to finish CDL school, you've probably heard this before. You got to do over the road first. No one hires rookies for local jobs and say goodbye to being home. But that's not always the case. So today we're going to talk about the best local CDL jobs for new drivers. The kind of jobs where you're home every night, getting solid pay, and building experience without living in a sleeper truck 4 weeks at a time. So now I'm going to be honest with you. Local jobs can be more physically demanding, more hands-on, and more demanding in some other ways. But for many drivers, especially new ones, they're absolutely worth it. So by the end of this video, you'll know what local CDL jobs hire new drivers, what the work is really like, typical pay ranges, and how to increase your chances of getting hired. So let's jump right into it. So before we list specific jobs, let's define a good CDL job for beginners. So a good entry-level local job usually has a predictable route, consistent schedules, company-provided training, lower liability compared to specialized hauling, and a high demand for local truck drivers. So now you may notice something right away. Many of these jobs involve touching freight or customer interaction. That's often the trade-off of being home daily. So let's break down the best options. One of the best options starting out is going to be food and beverage delivery. So these kind of jobs include grocery warehouses, restaurant supply companies, beverage distributors, stuff like that. And here's what the job looks like. So usually you're going to get started early in the morning and you're going to have multiple stops per day. You're going to be loading and unloading freight using dollies, ramps, or lift gates. So this is why these companies hire new drivers. There's an extremely high turnover rate. A lot of people that get into these jobs are not expecting to touch freight, and when they do, it's a lot more demanding than they think, and they end up getting out of it. There's a constant demand for these kind of people, and the routes are local and repeatable. So it's very easy for a new truck driver to get used to the route and do this kind of work. But many new drivers doing this kind of work can earn up to $55,000 to $75,000 per year with overtime. Now, some of the good things about this is you're home every night, you get fast experience, and you get strong pay early on. But some of the cons is physical work. You're going to have tight delivery windows, and it can be very stressful if you're a brand new driver driving in local traffic. So if you don't mind sweating a little and want solid money right out of school, this is a very strong option. But another strong option is local beverage and soft drink delivery. If you've ever been inside a gas station, you've probably seen one of these guys unloading their truck and loading up the store. But this is very similar to food service, but usually involves slightly lighter freight. So this includes beverages such as soda, alcoholic beverages, bottled water, so on and so forth. And this is very beginner friendly because you're going to have a straight truck or a day cab, and you're going to have a short, familiar route with structured company provided training programs. So with these kind of jobs, you're going to be making around $50,000 to $65,000 with overtime, and there's going to be some commissions and incentives, which are awesome. But here's the reality check, guys. You'll be handling cases, stacking products, interacting with store staff, but you gain excellent backing and city driving skills very quickly, which are valuable in the trucking business. And here's another great option for CDL holders, which is construction related driving. So this includes stuff like dump trucks, aggregate hauling, asphalt and concrete support, and this is excellent for new drivers because you have short haul distances, simple equipment, and seasonal demand creates openings. So construction tends to slow down around the winter, but moving on to the spring and summer seasons, this is when you'll see a lot of these companies hiring drivers, and this is how they pay, guys. Hourly pay is usually in the $22 to $30 per hour range with overtime during peak seasons. So don't expect overtime in the winter with these kind of jobs. But some of the good things about these kind of construction companies is you're home daily, It's a very straightforward job. It's very easy, and there's less customer pressures, so you really won't have to talk to people that much. But some of the cons is there's seasonal layoffs in some regions, early start times, and very weather dependent work. So if it rains, you won't be working, so you're gonna have to DoorDash that day. I don't know, guys. But if you're okay with seasonal cycles, this can be an excellent way to build experience fast. And here's another one. You could be a yard jockey or a yard hostler. These positions are one of the best kept secrets for brand new drivers. So basically, here's what a yard jockey does, guys. So you're gonna move trailers around in a yard, you're gonna spot docks, short shuttle runs between facilities, and this is perfect for beginners because there's very minimal road driving. Then there's massive backing practice. You get a ton of backing practice being a yard jockey. And there's also a very low accident risk, hence why they hire brand new drivers. So pay for this is a little bit less. It's around $20 to $28 per hour, depending on your location and what kind of shift you're doing. But this is very repetitive work, and it's very often that you're gonna end up in a night position with these kind of jobs, starting out brand new. But one of the good things about these jobs is it does build that backing confidence and skill that carriers love to see. And here's another one for you guys. We have local trash and recycling trucks. Yes, garbage and recycling trucks hire a lot of new CDL drivers. And here's what that looks like, guys. So you're gonna be working early mornings, very short distances, and very repetitive routes. So typically, you're gonna be making around $45,000 to $65,000, depending on overtime, and it is an extremely stable job, guys. Union positions are also very strong in some areas as well, and they have very good retirement plans if you're into that kind of thing. But it's not glamorous, it's dirty, it's reliable, and beginner friendly. And another one for you guys is gonna be local flatbed and building material delivery. Man, flatbed delivery for lumber, roofing, construction materials is another solid option, especially during peak construction seasons. So what you'll be doing is securing loads with straps, delivering to job sites, and sometimes you'll be operating a forklift or a crane. But these kind of drivers usually make about $55,000 to $70,000 annually. And this is why these companies hire new drivers. So the routes are local, there's a very high demand for this kind of work, and load securement training is provided by the employer, which is awesome if you're a brand new driver. But this job requires massive attention to safety, and it requires a lot of physical ability, and it builds very valuable experience. But here's how a lot of new drivers mess up. Here's how you get a job as a local driver right out of truck driving school. So make sure you guys are applying early. Apply 2 to 4 weeks before finishing school. And if you also have some previous experience in the military, warehouse, construction, customer service, you know how to talk to people, these are very valuable, translatable skills to a local truck driving job. You also have to be flexible, guys. You got to be okay with night shifts, weekends, and working holidays. This will open up a lot of doors for you guys. You also want to make sure you have a squeaky clean driving record. Local carriers are very strict about safety. One ticket can matter a lot. And also, walk in, man, introduce yourself. Local companies still value face-to-face applications so they know who they'll be working with. But are local jobs better than on the road for new drivers? There's really not a one-size-fits-all answer. Local is great if you want to be home daily, you like a structured routine, and you can handle that physical work. But on the road might be better for you. If you want to see the country, prefer less physical labor, and don't mind being gone for weeks at a time. The good news is nothing is permanent in trucking, so if you don't like what you're doing, you can always try something else. Experience really opens up a lot of doors for you guys. So let's recap real quick. Some of the best local CDL jobs for new drivers include food service delivery, beverage distribution, dump trucks and construction, yard jockey, trash and recycling, and plus flatbed material driving. So there's plenty of options out there for you guys, so don't get discouraged. But yes, these jobs are tough. They require a lot of effort, but they give you that home time, they give you solid pay, real world experience, and a lot of career flexibility. And importantly, they prove that you don't have to go on the road if it's not what you want to do. But if you guys found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with somebody who needs to see it with someone in CDL school right now. But drop a comment down below and let me know. Are you looking for local work, or are you starting on the road first? Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one.